Yo, 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 what's up, guys? Today I'm going to be making a beat based on Lil Baby's song Never Hatin' featuring Young Thug. I was just listening to it and I thought it would be cool to show off a beat where the hi-hats were in triplets and like everything was in triplets, like the snare rolls and all that shit. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to be using my Lil Baby sample pack. It's completely free on my website, adusounds.com. You can find the link in the description. So I'm going to start with the melody loop from that, and then we're going to build the drums around it and make a full beat start to finish. Okay, I found a loop that I think would be good for this style. It's called Back to the Basics. It's 152 BPM, D minor. So I'm going to pull it in, change the BPM, and we'll listen to it real quick. So this loop is super emotional. I really like it. So the first thing I'm going to do is arrange this a little bit. The guy who made this loop, his name is Daniel Taylor, super dope producer. Shout out to him. You can find some of his videos making melodies on my channel if you want some insight into how to make melodies. But the way he always arranges shit is he does the first half of the loop will have a bass line, and then the second half of the loop will not have the bass line. So you can see it's just duplicated over, and you can see it's a bigger waveform right here. So I'm going to go ahead and chop this up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this little section right here for a pre-hook. And then I'm going to find this like kind of empty section. And that's going to be the beginning of the first verse. So we're going to go into that right there. So I'm actually going to cut that part right there and copy this over. And then stretch it back out to here, and then we're going to go back into this section and back into this for the hook, and then we're going to duplicate this. So we're going to have a verse right here, pre-hook, hook, and then another verse right here, pre-hook and hook, and then the song's going to end, and I'm probably just going to end it on one of these little parts right here. And the reason I'm arranging this a little bit is just so I have an idea going forward, like where I want to build the drums, how I want to do everything. So I'm going to go back to the beginning. The first thing I'm going to do is write the bass line. A lot of Lil Baby beats have like an actual bass line. They're not just like one 808 hitting on the same note over and over again. What I'm going to do is grab this 808. It's just a process spins 808 that I really like. I'm sure you've seen me use it before if you've watched my channel. I'm going to use this section that has the bass in it for reference for writing this 808 pattern, just so I know what notes to hit. And I'm going to go up an octave, or probably 2 octaves to write it. So it starts on D because it's in D minor. So that note is so low it's really hard to even tell what it is. So I went into Ableton and used the EQ8 to look at the pitch. And if you want to do that, all you had to do is open the EQ8 and press the arrow on it, and then you can scroll over the EQ and it'll tell you what note the frequencies are. Cool, so we have the basic 808 pattern written now. I'm gonna pitch this down back to where it's supposed to be, and real quick I'll put on cut itself so it cuts. Now I'm going to put it into the verse section so I can hear it and actually write a little bit more on it. I just was trying to get the notes down mostly. What I did here is I pitched down that last C note because it was going to play a high C, and right here I would rather it be a low C and then maybe go up to a high C at the very end. And let me take off triplets real quick. I may add some triplets to this. So I am going to go up to C here, but then I'm going to go back down. And I'm going to try a triplet right here, and it's going to go like boom. that sounds really good. That's very common to hear in Lil Baby songs, is that little triplet roll at the end. Cool, so we got the basic 808 pattern. I'm gonna turn this up a little bit. Real quick, I'm gonna link this to the mixer just so I have it there. And I'm gonna go to the master and turn on the soft clipper. And let me see if there's a spot I can do a little triplet right here too. Yeah, I like that. It's a little skippy. And I'm also gonna do a little triplet right here. Cool, that sounds really cool. Already got the triplet vibe going. Okay, so next I'm gonna add the snare. I think I have in mind what snare I want to use for this. It's kind of like a clap snare combo. There it is. This is like a clap and a snare layered. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to the next pattern. I'm gonna try to do like a lot of the shit in this beat as triplets when possible. So I'm gonna add this at the beginning and then it's gonna hit again halfway through. And I'm gonna put some reverb on this so it doesn't just like go away so fast. And I'm also going to put Valhalla delay on this, and I'm going to select this, and this is where you select what kind of timing it is. So this is milliseconds, and then you have regular notes, and then dotted, and then triplets. So I'm going to try 8th note triplets. Let's listen to that soloed real quick. So I'm going to do it like that. Cool, now let's add some open hats. And right here, this is a spot where I'm gonna add an open hat as a triplet. So I'm gonna put it right here. And I wanna make sure that cuts off with the note. So I'm gonna turn on the envelope and do this. And I'm gonna do the same thing with this open hat. I want it to cut off. I'm not going to do this triplet hi-hat on every single one. And then I'm going to use this hi-hat like a ride, so I'm going to put it on like this and just run it throughout the beat. And same thing with this one. And I'm gonna put that up until where that next open hat hits. And this one I can actually drag out. But what I'm doing is I'm stopping this open hat where that other triplet open hat comes in. I'm going to use this as the fill snare, and if I try to do it in the normal spot where you would put fill snares, you'll hear how it sounds not good because everything's in triplets. So I'm going to actually make this in triplets. Try some fast triplet rolls here. triangle. This one's pretty good. So I'm still not liking this 808 here because it's not in triplets and it sounds weird with the rest of the beat. Okay, that sounds good now. I'm gonna try to pitch this down an octave. And I'm gonna take out this one note, the 808. It's a little too much. Okay, cool. Now we're gonna finally get to the hi-hats. We got a lot of shit in there that's triplets before we even got to the hi-hats. I'm gonna try this one, and I'm just gonna run these hi-hats as triplets. When you have the grid on triplets, you're just gonna line it up to these notes. And I'm gonna take out some of these notes here to give it a little bit of bounce. And then we can do triplet rolls too at different speeds. Okay, now I'm gonna try to add some fast triplet rolls here and there. So we'll zoom in pretty far for that. Okay, I'm gonna delete this right here. Okay, so that's pretty much all I'm going to do with the hi-hats. I want to keep them pretty simple so we can listen to that from the beginning here. And I'm going to take that low roll out. I don't even think it's needed. Okay, and real quick, I want to try to layer a kick with this 808. I think it might sound good. I'm going to, in the 808 pattern, copy the 808, press Option K, and it'll make all the notes on C. And right here, I'm actually gonna leave that bell section that was in there, so I'm gonna have to fix that on all these. So that's most of the beat. I'm gonna add a couple effects real quick and do a minor mix, and then we're gonna be done. So I'm gonna go to these crashes real quick. Okay, I'm gonna try this crash right here, and I'm probably gonna try it on the downbeat too. Cool, so that sounds good. I'm gonna make this unique and reverse it, and I'm only gonna use like this section of it right here. Put a little bit of in on it so it fades up nicely. Okay, last thing I'm going to try to add is just an impact, a really thin one. I think I have one in mind. I'm going to go to my Essential Effects pack. There's a lot of good impacts in here. I think there's one literally called Thin. Yeah, this one, I think I used it on my last beat too. It sounds really good. Go ahead and delete all this and copy these sections with effects over. Also this right here, and I gotta copy this over again. I've done this like 3 times. Cool, now I'm gonna just go to all right here, and I have a couple things linked to the mixer, but most of this shit is not. Select all this stuff, hold Command Shift L to link everything up. I'm gonna make this unique. And I'm going to make this unique too. And I'm going to copy this over. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to EQ out any leftover lows. But there's a bass line in this little break section. I'm going to route this one to 4-2. And then this one, which is all the verses, is going to have the EQ. And that's all I'm going to do for mixing. I did a lot of the mixing as I went along, so I didn't have to do a lot at the end. I'm going to play it through one time from the beginning to the verse and let you guys hear it. Alright y'all, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this and got some tips out of it. It's definitely worth trying triplets sometimes, especially like on Lil Baby type beats or Young Thug type beats. Sometimes it can make the beat sound really interesting and unique because not everybody does this. By the way, you can download this melody loop plus a bunch more with my Lil Baby sample pack. The link's in the description, and I have a ton of sample packs on my website. I would definitely recommend going and checking those out. But anyways, I hope y'all have a good one. Peace.